This was security clearance for ground zero, basically, and each one of these letters allowed me to go into certain areas that were restricted.
It's 8:52 here in New York. I'm Bryant Gumbel. We understand that there has been a plane crash on the southern tip of Manhattan. You're looking at the World Trade Center. We understand that a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center. We don't know anything more.
So the day of 9/11, I was at a union meeting in Queens, and our union president said that if anybody has family that's working in the World Trade Center, just got hit by a plane. So, we're thinking of a small little private plane.
In Manhattan, you don't hear planes too often, especially loud ones.
And it happens every once in a while. So we went on with our meeting. His cell phone was going off all the time, or beeper back then. He said that a second plane hit the Trade Center, so right off the bat we said, we're under attack.
So you have no idea right now?
There's another one. Another plane just hit. Right, oh my God, another plane has just hit. It hit another building. Flew right into the middle of it. Explosion. My God, it's right in the middle of the building.
This one into the East Tower?
Yes, right in the middle of the building. And right now, that was definitely looked like it was on purpose.
We went up to the roof of the Union Hall, and we saw that the Twin Towers with both smoke billowing out from it. So we set up camp in Queens for a little bit until all the traffic died down, and then we got an idea of what was going on, and then we went into Manhattan, and very dark. There was all the power was out. It looked like it snowed basically. There was no set schedule for us to work. We were just working. Nobody wanted to leave the pile, so we were all out there doing certain things. And then, we hooked up with our supervisors, and they were like, "Let's go direct traffic here, or let's try to do something different."
A shovel would just bounce off of one piece. If it hits one piece of steel, it's just going to bounce off. The only way to do it was to force your hands down under there and lift it up and put it in a bucket. That's how most of the buckets were filled. The most dangerous job site I've ever seen in my life.
They were like, okay, we need detectives at the bereavement center in the city morgue, because people were looking for their relatives, friends, family and stuff. So they would come up and we would have interview sheets, and we would ask them the person's name, and we would get a toothbrush or a hairbrush or something that we can collect some kind of DNA. And we were tasked with documenting all of that.
The main objective was to find DNA. That was the main mission of this whole operation of sorting through 1.8 million tons, were to find the smallest piece of a human to identify for a family. That was the main point. We would see these agents and detectives in these sorting sheds working on conveyor belts where the material would come off the fields.
And then we were told to go to the landfill in Staten Island where they were bringing all the stuff. So we all went there. We got all dressed up in Tyvek suits and masks and everything, and they would come in with truckloads of debris. We find little pieces of flesh or ID cards.
The credit cards were very important because they didn't find remains of roughly half the people. So some people just got a credit card, and we're very appreciative they would come.
Chaos alone was just nobody was prepared for it. I stayed in law enforcement because I love being a detective. I love helping people and being around law enforcement. Being on the line here, I enjoyed training young officers and sharing my knowledge, and I was in a different mindset, I guess, because I went through that whole thing, and I was talked into actually becoming a detective by a retired sergeant. So I'm glad I did it, because I really enjoy doing behind the scenes in the Rick Center.